Hey, do you want to finish in the top 10k this season? If yes, then you have to watch this video to the end to find out what I discovered about these guys in the top 10k. 2020-2021 season was my best season ever with an overall rank of 4,000. Along the way I got to learn the unwritten FPL rules known only to the top managers. At position 5 is, know how to react to bandwagons and trains. A bandwagon is when most managers are making a particular transfer, usually influenced by high expectations of either very impressive or very poor FPL performances. The top managers have created a culture of jumping on these trains early enough to enable them gain rank before the rest of the managers come to own these players. But how does one identify the right bandwagon to follow? Use eye test. It will give you information that sometimes stats people fail to record. For example, Jordan Henderson passing the ball to Mohamed Salah, who is in a good position to attempt a shot but instead chooses to pass the ball back to the midfield, will not be recorded as chance created by Henderson. But the FPL manager watching this match will know it was a chance created. You also have to use stats. For example, for a forward you can take a sample of 3 matches and compare his shots taken inside the penalty area against other forwards. Look at the injuries to the teammates. Injuries may destroy the compactness of a team's defense, but they can also lead to the emergence of budget options. For example, the injury to Liverpool's Virgil van Dijk made Liverpool to be vulnerable at the back but also offered a cheaper option into Liverpool's defense through Nat Phillips. Also, Kevin De Bruyne's injury made Gundogan to be Manchester City's penalty taker, which is a good thing for FPL managers. You can also analyze the next 5 fixtures and determine suitable players to own. At number 4 is, never buy rotation risk players. This is commonly associated with Pep Roulette. The likes of Phil Foden and Riyad Mahrez have often been benched and only brought in the dying minutes of matches to only reward managers a frustrating 1 point. Even if they sit out the whole match, you should not be having all that money sitting idle on your bench. Number 3 is about when to make transfers. Managers in the top 10k always prioritize information over team value. It might be tempting to immediately buy a player who scores a hat-trick on Saturday, but you might end up regretting using your free transfer when one of your players get injured during Sunday games or even during training. Waiting for teams' press conferences gives you more advantage than the 0.2 million saved as a result of early transfers. My second last tip or discovery is to ignore the FPL fixture difficulty rating as they are misleading. An example is Arsenal will likely score more goals against Leeds than against Brighton, yet Brighton and Leeds have the same difficulty ratings. In a game between Arsenal versus Leeds, it's better to have attackers than defenders. Another reason to ignore fixture difficulty ratings is because it doesn't take into account the difference in strengths of teams playing at home and when playing at away grounds. Wrapping up the first part of this segment is, always control your emotions. Transfers made during match days are usually emotional decisions, and most of them are poor decisions. If a premium player blanks twice, it doesn't mean you should get rid of him. You first have to compare his stats in those 2 games with stats of previous periods and only sell him when his big chances received or created and shots on target have significantly dropped. Other emotional decision is not owning players from rival teams because you won't be fully happy when they score. Also, not owning players from the team you support because you think you're making emotional decisions is actually an emotional decision. A second part of this video will be released tomorrow. Kindly like and subscribe.